All right, guys, episode 6 coming at you. We've took a couple weeks off because Carlos can't stay home and he refuses to not be on a podcast. So he had to be on it. He's on vacation, right, in Florida. Thanks for being with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming and visiting me. You're in Florida. Don't want to even come see your boy.
Dude, you're like 2.5 hours away from me.
You're driving.
Just right down the road. Come on.
Not right now.
Oh my God.
Drive right now.
But it's been good. It's been fun. We want to thank everybody who's been listening to the podcast. It's been really, really good. We got a couple of things today we think is going to be super fun to talk about. One of them is the LeBeau, you ready with all the music and the sound effects and all that?
Yep.
All right. One of them is going to be Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. Okay. Little late, bro. Little late. We gotta do that again. One of us is gonna be Mike Tyson and Jake Paul. I had to roll out the. All right. No, that's interesting.
His face expressions. He's all. You look like that Muppet on Sesame Street. The guy that LeBeau.
LeBeau's just happy to be here every time.
Every time.
Don't stop. The teeth are just there. All right. So that we're gonna do that, and then Vince, you put together a little trailer of all kinds of 80s and maybe early 90s movies that we grew up on, and
some of the favorites.
Yeah, it's gonna be some of the favorites. So if you are a Gen Xer, as we all are, you're gonna love this episode because it's so much fun. Where do you guys want to start, Mike Tyson or 80s movies?
Let's start the whole Mike Tyson fight. I mean, it's been in development, and I think it's one of those things where I think me and LeBeau were talking about how all these YouTubers are now coming up, and it's like, oh, who can we fight? And now it's getting to the point where, okay, you're about to fight somebody real, like this. But so here's another thing: is I heard the rules are kind of whack. So I don't know if any of you have seen any of the rules. Have you?
I don't even know which rules they're saying is whack that are actually rules, and which ones are just clickbait. I don't even know what the rules are.
I know.
That's a good
point.
It's
the world that we live in. What do you hear that are the legit rules? Sorry, Carlos.
So I've heard that there's a rule where Jake Paul gets to tag in his brother. And they double team.
Shut up,
I heard that one too. I watched that video. Yes.
That's all I was asking because I didn't even see. I just seen a headline about the rules being just so whack that it's not even to be like a real fight.
Yeah. I mean, the other rule is that Jake Paul can wear headgear, right?
Yes,
so
I heard that. I watched that video.
Quite honestly, I think it's for his protection. As I'm thinking about the fight coming up. You guys know those Rock'em Sock'em robot things? Dude, this is going to be like a real life Rock'em Sock'em robot deal. Jake Paul's head is going to fly off, dude.
Hey, Joe, why don't you play a clip of Tyson training?
All right, let's
throw on that clip of Tyson training.
Let's see if there's a. All right.
Day 3. You still want to fuck with me? Day 4, it was okay, but you don't know what you got in store, baby. You got to face the God of War. And get ready, baby. Fire in the house.
Oh my, the dude's just ripped.
Man.
How old is he now? 58, right? 57?
I thought.
50s, yeah. That's wild.
Jake Paul's head is going to go flying, dude.
He's not
There's
joking
no
around.
doubt about it.
Well, he's legitimately training for sure. He's legitimate. That part's not being faked. But the question is, to Carlos's point, I saw the video that you are describing. I don't know whether to believe that or not. That's the problem of a world of AI, a world of internet. Like everybody's saying what they think, and you don't know if you believe them or not. There's other people that say it's an exhibition, so they're really not going to fight like 100%. It might be 80% speed or 85, and and so many hits are allowed, and no face shots, things like that. So I don't know. Vince, did you say you knew the rules, Vince?
No, I just heard like there's some whack. I really haven't had time to like look over the rules. Kind of one of those things where it would be nice to have like a side producer to like pop up all those rules for us.
A little Jamie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just
Let me see if I can find them.
If we're going off based off of what history tells us, it's definitely going to be whack, and there is going to be some rules that we don't agree with. It is going to be an exhibition, because we know when Mike Tyson ended up wanting to, he ended up fighting who was that, like a couple years ago? I can't remember, but anyways, they had an exhibition fight, and there was no face punches, no nothing like that. It was all body stuff and all that. So I kind of tend to lean that is actually probably true. It's for money. It's a sport. This isn't a real side of the sport. If it was a real side of the sport, it wouldn't be Mike Tyson after retirement. This would be Mike Tyson as professional boxer, right? So I don't know. I kind of tend to lean towards history.
I mean, professional. I mean, they're getting paid, so there's some profession in it. So you get paid that much money.
I think this probably falls more under the category of entertainment as opposed to true actual sport competition.
Yeah.
It just is. When you talk about, all of these YouTubers fighting, boxing, I mean, Jake Paul's brother, I forget what the other guy's name is, but he's
Logan.
in WWE now, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, these guys are more entertainers than they are, competitors, in my opinion. I know that Jake takes a lot of pride in his training, which is great. But at the end of the day, he really isn't a boxer. He's an entertainer. The fact that Mike Tyson is willing to get in the ring with him for however many millions of dollars, I think is evident of that.
It was a $1 billion contract. Yes, that's why he's getting in the ring, because it was a $1 million contract.
So I just put up some information on givemesport.com. I don't know if this is legit or not, but it seems pretty legit. It says the boxing world was caught off guard last week by the shocking announcement of the July 20th bout between heavyweight legend Mike Tyson and social media supporter Jake Paul. They confirmed the venue. The 57-year-old last stepped into the ring back in November of 2020 when he fought fellow boxing icon Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout. So that's what we were talking about.
No face shots, no nothing. It was all body stuff.
Yeah, the undercard of that fight saw Paul make only his second appearance as a professional boxer, as he made a quick work of the former NBA player Nate Robinson, and the YouTube sensation has only seen star power rocket since. As of the 27-year-old's fight, since he's been officially sanctioned pro outing, so he's officially sanctioned, he can fight professionally. It says given that there will be an age difference of some 3 decades between the two men when they come to fight, there has been plenty of debate over whether it's safe for Iron Mike to be competing. And at the very end of this, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. It says, according to the recent update from the Helwani, I don't know who that is. Anybody know who Helwani is?
No.
I don't know. Though this is not to be the case. Speaking to the MMA Hour, the veteran reported explained both fighters are pushing for a professional bout and that headgear will not be used. So this is kind of
there's no way, dude.
There's no way. Entertainment.
So I'm going off of Mike Tyson's history. Like the dude's like chewed on ears and done some crazy stuff. There's going to be a point in this fight where he's going to be like, it's going to be where he's going to just go all at him. And I think they're going to have to come between them.
He did like chill out for the exhibition match. He didn't like go.
But
nuts.
That was Roy. I think this dude is like, I think Tyson's going to be like, oh, you want to get in the ring with a real fighter?
Yeah,
I hope so. For the sake of, for the sake of everybody that's paid however much money, right, for this pay-per-view fight, I hope that he goes nuts and goes crazy, because that would really be entertaining. Not that I would ever wish harm or ill will on anybody, but for Jake Paul to think that he can get in the ring with literally one of the greats in the sport is just, in my opinion, it's he's bringing embarrassment to the sport of boxing, right? Challenging Mike Tyson of all people, to this type of competition. I mean, the difference, not just in age, but weight, experience, like it's just night and day. It's Mars versus Venus. It's like just ridiculous, right? In my opinion. So I hope that Mike does, do some damage in
Just
the
give him a
ring.
little tappity tap, a little
Yeah.
Little
taparoo.
tappity tap.
Hey, what do you
Tap,
guys sent me?
tap.
What do you guys sent me this meme? Check it out. This one's been going around.
Yeah.
Come on. Where's the noise? Right there. That's the palm.
LeBeau, who is that?
That's Glass Jaw Joe. He's the first guy that you fight
Jaw
on the Mike Tyson
Joe.
Punch Out.
His legs are all wobbly.
When I seen this meme, I was like, oh my goodness, that's like, it looks just like him.
Dude, that looks like him too. That's hilarious.
It's really good. It's really good.
I agree with Carlos, man. Like this not, he's bringing embarrassment to the sport, and time for him to get what's coming to him, honestly.
Well, he has done relatively good, being that, say what you want, but he's done really well, and I feel like he's training professionally, and he is a real athlete, Mr. Jake. But yeah, I mean, it's still Mike Tyson, right? It's still Mike Tyson.
I remember as a kid watching. You guys remember watching Mike Tyson as a kid?
Yeah.
Like just him just walking out,
Watching him for like 30 whole seconds.
He gets in the ring,
fight
dude.
somebody.
And he gets
Dude,
in
it
the
was
ring
over before it started, but it was still the best thing ever.
Yeah,
it
the
was.
opponent on the other side was done before he even like threw a punch, dude. Like he would just place fear inside of grown men.
Well, boxing hasn't been boxing since our day and age. Can we agree on that? Since our time?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Mayweather, you got these other guys, but for the most part, he would just run around and avoid everything until the
whoa.
Well, Mayweather's more he's more of a defensive fighter. He doesn't he's not an aggressor. So like everybody back in our day was.
Who is that guy that hit Mayweather right in the face and his tooth popped out? Did you guys see that match? There's like this clip online where he's fighting some dude. He ended up beating the guy, obviously, because Mayweather's undefeated. But this guy just caught him really good right in the face, and you see his tooth fly out. And I guess this guy found the tooth. Somebody gave this guy the tooth, and he ended up putting it on a necklace. So he's walking around with Mayweather's tooth around his neck. Like, true story. I don't know what the guy's name is. He ended up losing, but still, I mean, that's a pretty big accomplishment, in my opinion. When you can knock the champ's tooth out.
I thought I knew some random
that
information.
got the best shot on him was Victor Ortiz. I think he was probably the one that probably got the best shot on him. And that ended controversially, but I think it's because Mayweather was actually feeling some kind of weight from that.
So
is Victor Ortiz
remember
the guy that he ended up punching like when they were just standing still?
Yeah, after the referee was like, "Put your guard up," he didn't put his guard up, and he's like, "Well, what the heck? He's punching me!" Like, well, the ref's like, "Put your guard up," so he's like, "Well, you didn't put your guard up."
Yeah.
Do you guys remember back when we were kids when my dad bought me a set of boxing gloves, and we would like throw them on in my backyard? Were you guys ever a part of that?
I'm sure we were.
Yeah.
Huh?
How
did that end?
Yeah, how did it end?
Did that end good for any of us?
I think the you remember Elias Crespin and Aaron, those two
you can't use last names.
Oh, okay. Then Elias Crispy. I don't know what you just.
I don't remember Aaron's last name either. I don't even think he did because he would lie about it. His name might not have been Aaron. Just kidding.
Aaron, if you have my John Elway signed football, can you please return it?
If you have my Nintendo, can you please return that?
Why are you guys hating? Why are you guys hating?
Aaron?
No. Those two were like they would always battle, but it was fun. You guys, I know.
Dude,
Carlos
Elias was a little
knows-
scrapper though. Elias was a little
Yeah.
scrapper.
He was. Do you guys remember a fight that you guys were in when you were kids?
Oh no.
Ooh,
Yeah, I
Like
remember.
one that
fights.
stood out.
Who are you talking about?
You, I don't know any of you. Carlos,
Where you
I
going? with
remember
this, man?
fights. I'm not gonna
Carlos,
say anything.
you look like you have a punchable face.
Thank you. I appreciate
I
that.
don't remember what happened. Let me just talk about the elephant that you just brought into the room right now.
You're talking about the two of you going
Yeah,
at
yeah,
it.
Joe and
yeah.
Carlos.
back in
Thank
the
you.
U-Haul?
Yeah, I don't even remember what happened. It was on a.
It was
Was
over
it in the U-Haul
food.
or was it in the back
Yes.
of Victor's yard?
No,
No,
no, that
it
was
U-Haul.
dude, there was multiple times where you guys.
There were multiple.
But guys fought. That's what guys did.
Yeah, that
But the
we-
most memorable one was definitely the one where we were on our way to Sunday school.
we were on our way to church, and for some reason, I don't know why, Carlos had on overalls with no shirt.
Let's get a
What are you
picture
talking
of
about?
that.
To
Dude.
church.
Can we put that up in the picture?
That
So-
was the most memorable. The fight. Forget the fight. Who he had overalls with just chones underneath.
So I
And no
just
shirt.
remember like Carlos had
Dude, those overalls were awesome. They were Janko
Carlos had
overalls.
Joe-
I remember those.
But you're
Carlos
going to
had Joe
church.
like in a headlock, like Joe's head's right here, and Joe's
a
like
sweaty
slamming
pit.
him up against the side of the U-Haul.
Oh, and the
Brad
U-Haul?
is
Yeah, that was
driving.
classic, dude.
Brad was driving, and he's like at the thing. He's like, "What's going on back there?"
That one I know was over food. That one was over food, dude.
Dude, because we were starving to
We were
death.
on the road.
Oh
we
my
were starving
goodness.
We were
artists.
starving,
were
dude.
on
Nobody-
minimal snacks.
We were on our
Brad
last
took us
nacho
out on
cheese.
this
Remember?
tour and promised us all these things, and he starved us to death.
Yeah,
Dude,
we were on our.
we need
Remember
to-
those expired nachos cheese that we got?
Dude, those people paid us in snacks, and then we were on the last of our.
No, let's explain this. We were out on our tour, God's New Creation. It was before the Candle Days. We were doing this tour. We went to places that our manager at the time said they were going to pay us and this and that. And he like talked everybody into everything, even our sound system. He talked some guy into letting us use a sound system. And we went to this big church. We got there and the guy had forgotten that he was going to host us. So he starts making us hold up signs on the street. Do you remember that?
Mm.
And then we were like, concert tonight. It's us. It's us. And then
That was
No-
in Temecula. It was in
nobody
Temecula.
shows up. Nobody shows up. And then we're done. He's like, that was a blessing. You know, we don't have money, but we have a food pantry. And he gave us expired nachos and cheese.
Oh my!
And we got
goodness.
sick and fought each other over it.
Man, that
No,
was funny.
no,
We were
I
farting,
don't
I
think the
think.
fight was that time. I think the fight was when we were in Texas. I'm pretty sure
we
we
were.
were in Texas.
It was. We were in Dallas, but we were in the U-Haul though.
It was
It was
Well,
in the
I-
U-Haul.
Yeah,
it
I
was in
mean,
the
were in the
here's the
U-Haul.
fact of the matter. Like, people think that traveling and touring when you're a young band, I definitely don't remember whether or not we were signed during the Nacho days, the Nacho era.
I don't think we were. I think we
we
were
weren't.
still. It was when
But
we just
when-
put out the self release of God's New Creation.
Yeah. So when
think
we
I have
when
it.
we were in Dallas, we were having, some pretty big concerts, and even then, it was a grind, right? Because you do a show, you have to get up, you have to go set up, you have to do sound check. There's very little downtime, and
Hey,
who's
wait,
doing
hey,
it?
Wait.
Hey, you
What-
want
what's
to see
this weed
something you're
stuff?
not ready for?
Does anybody ever remember Carlos setting up?
no.
Dude, I set up all
Well,
the time.
I was trying
What are
to
you
follow
talking
Carlos's thought. Are you
You
guys
set
ready
up
to
and
see
watched
something you're not?
us.
Are you ready for something you're not ready for?
Oh my goodness, I have that.
right, dude.
Yep,
That's hilarious.
Dude, that
Does
was
that
our
still
first
fit?
merch, bro.
I have that.
Put that
Still,
on again.
it has a hole in it, but I haven't.
Sick.
Dude, that is sick.
Shout out to Will Rodriguez, right? For
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
making that design.
His
Anyway.
designs always had the little sphere in it with the little glow.
Yeah, the little shiny part
Yep.
with the little holy graphics in the corner.
That was Adobe 1.2.0 right there. That's why.
Dude, so getting back to this grind, like, it was a lot of work, right? So I mean, you get up in the morning, you're cranky, you're on your way to church, you're hungry, it was inevitable, I think. being crammed in the back of a truck for weeks just wasn't a great recipe for morale building. That's for sure.
Nope.
No, but it caused a lifelong friendship, though, dude. Like you could say you went through that with your other brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could say he lost fights to me all kinds of times.
Yo, right, dude.
I think we could even go in a little bit further and explain exactly how this lifestyle went. We're in a 28-foot U-Haul truck. We have giant servo speakers in the back. In between the speakers and the cab of the truck, we have sleeping bags, and we're living in a U-Haul on the road, bro.
Yeah, and there's a door that you could get to the front of the cab.
And by the way, that was highly illegal because you couldn't breathe in there.
So
and there was no doorway from the front to the back. So
No.
I don't know if you guys remember, but we popped out some of the emergency lights to get air back there. Yeah. We did. Those yellow lights that were on the top of the cab.
Yeah.
We like popped those out so there would be some kind of airflow in there. So we were basically like rag dolls back there anytime they would turn.
You guys remember? Do you guys remember when we were driving in the hills of California? We were driving, and I can't remember what the truck was driving, and then I remember I was driving in a car next to the truck, and I can't remember if it was Vince sleeping in the passenger seat.
No,
it was No, dude, you were sleeping in the passenger seat.
We were in Vince's Civic. It was Vince's white Civic, dude, that we were driving next to the U-Haul in.
Oh,
and
I was driving.
I had a reputation.
You were driving the U-Haul.
No, I wasn't driving the U-Haul.
LeBeau was driving the U-Haul, and he was acting like he was like falling out.
Yeah.
And we're all honking the horn like, dude, wake up.
Yeah. No,
I had a reputation of falling asleep.
Yeah. I remember you faking or acting like that. You guys were freaking out. But do you remember me putting a Coke can out, popping it, and then it went all over your windshield?
Yes. I was a
dude,
little
you used to covet
that.
your cars, bro. You used to covet your cars.
Yeah.
One guy hit your 4Runner one time and he got out and punched him, your blue 4Runner.
Oh, I remember that.
Speaking of Tyson's punch out, right? I don't know what got into me. I was like,
you like totally got out of your car and rocked that guy.
Dude, I think about that now and I'm like, what the heck was my problem?
You were like mad at the world or something.
Dude, I remember that. You were pissed.
Yeah.
Dude, speaking of fighting Joe, didn't you fight Joe too, Vince?
So
at one point in elementary school?
No, he like
no.
gave me a bloody nose because I was a jerk when I was a kid. I was a jerk. I you know what? I'm not even lying. Like those kind of things, like you go through life and you're like, I was such a I want to say a bad word right now. I was such a jerk.
Turd bird.
Like I don't know why. Like you feel like insecure, whatever. When you're a kid, you want to act like you're better, whatever. You want to say things, and those are things that like you never really like can say sorry enough, or you can never really say like what the crap, other than I'm just an adolescent going through puberty and I don't know what the crap's going on in my life right now.
So,
but I was making fun of Vince. He comes over and just open hands me in the face, and then blood just goes all over.
Dude, Joe was like, he was a lot bigger than us as a kid. Like he was like this.
I was shaving in third grade.
Yeah, and so I'm like, dude, enough. Like got all crazy. Went to the back, and we were on the bus, and I hit him in the nose, and dude, I sprinted off that bus.
I didn't know you sprinted off of it,
dude. I sprinted. I was like, Joe's gonna kill me. Joe's gonna kill me. Joe's gonna kill me.
Dude, speaking of sprint bus runs, remember when Joe, I can't say his last name, when the other kid was on our bus, it was I think it was Travis was on our bus, and he got to the bus stop. And
I like Rivieras.
Yeah. And Travis got off the bus and started running on the street, and Joe caught him on his bike, and he caught up to him and he started kicking him. Remember, he like grabbed him by the back of the shirt.
Dude, it was a show outside of the bus. They like caught up to the next stop, and Joe's kicking his butt right by the next bus stop.
Yeah.
He got out of the bus, ran. By the time we got to the next stop, he caught him
Yep.
and was beating the crap out of him. That was
He's
He had him by the back of the shirt, just kicking him in the butt with this. Exactly like Carlos.
oh
Dude,
my
you know,
God.
hey, Joe, would you agree? Like at that point, there was kind of a mutual respect from that point.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
it
For
it
sure.
kind of
that actually, like, to Carlos's point earlier, kind of, or LeBeau's, like, deepened the relationship at that point, right?
yeah, because we're like, okay, yeah, that's just kind of what friends did. I don't know if it's so much now, but it's just what we did back then, you know?
Yeah.
It's like we're truly like brothers. They always talk about brothers fighting all the time. I mean, I was like, we did that, you know?
Do you remember how mad? Do you remember how mad Joe used to get because whenever we would perform, he thought that you and I would always goof off during his verses.
Dude, what do you mean thought? You did.
No, we didn't.
It would be my verse, and you would kick off your shoes in your little stinky no shoes wearing way, and you would be like jacking around on the stage. Vince would be like playing to you, and I'd be all serious trying to do my verse. Like,
Yeah.
when I respected you during your verse, I was all,
Dude, the first thing that was
here's Carlos doing his verse.
Do.
Here's Carlos doing his verse, and then I'm doing my verse, and you're all going back and forth.
Dude, I was doing the Lord's work. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Dude, the Lord's work for Carlos is like taking off his shoes, bro. Like that was the first thing this cat always
the
did.
Lord's work for LeBeau is the fake DJ. Remember when he was the fake DJ?
Yeah.
We had that record player that was like sunk in. It wasn't even like a legit record player. It was one of those that were inside of a box. And then you had to like look inside of it. And he was that was funny. Anyway, we didn't plan this part of the conversation, everybody, but it just that's what happens when you're talking with friends.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of I have one funny story to tell because it's like this story is burned in my head forever. Because speaking of being tired, do you guys remember? It was I think it was in California when we were on tour, and we just got up, went to breakfast down to the hotel lobby, and Carlos is like, there's a brother. There was a brother sitting behind Carlos.
Oh my God.
And Carlos leans back, and Carlos, I don't know what he was doing.
We were at Denny's.
Back.
It was at Denny's. It
was a Denny's. That's right.
Yeah.
And Carlos leans back, and he's like slowly grabbing this guy's hair, and his wife is watching Carlos do this, like just watching it. And Carlos is sitting there just grabbing it like it doesn't even feel like his hair. Well, how could you mistake this guy's hair for your
I totally
hair?
thought it was my head. I totally thought it was my head.
So
that I was
here's what I
scratching.
remember about that. I don't remember his wife seeing that, but I remember the guy not knowing. Well, I remember the guy not knowing it was happening, but when we told Carlos, "What are you doing?" The guy's hair had like a thing sticking out of it. Like we're like, dude, what just happened right now in life? Like what? Why?
No,
and
his
here's
wife
the
was
thing.
laughing, and the guy was like so nice about it.
Yeah,
he didn't say
so
anything.
cool.
He just got up.
Did he finally realize that it happened to him?
Yes, because his wife was like kind of talking to him, telling him like this crazy guy.
Oh yeah, she was
you.
like, okay, I remember now.
And Carlos
was he
never
like,
realized
what's going
what
on?
happened.
And Carlos
No,
is just like,
I was pretty clueless. I didn't know what happened until you guys said something because I was pretty out of it.
So here's the thing
dude,
with a guy
That
like
was
Carlos.
the Denny's in Victorville. We were in Victorville when that happened.
Dang, dude, I believe
love
that
your
because you
memory.
don't forget anything.
It was
and
right. It was Denny's
we'd
right
like
by
to
the
think
river where
Carlos
the
is just
bridge went.
like acting like he didn't get it, or acting like he can shoot a basketball, or acting like he's athletic.
Dude, I am athletic. Dude, I had magic fingers. Whatever pass was thrown to me, I was like freaking.
You're like Jokic or the Joker. Like you
Jokic.
don't look like Jokic. You don't look like you should be playing, but you can. It's really weird.
Dude, I just remember anytime I played basketball with you, I was hurt because you just were all over the place. You were like Gumby on the court, just
Yes.
flopping all
Dude.
over the place.
I have literally never been hurt except for that one time that I sprained my ankle at Monaco. Like after that, I've never been injured ever again. So that says something about the way you guys play, honestly.
Just hurting everybody else.
Dude, by the way, I think I found our theme music. I've been looking for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Give me my theme music.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm looking forward to Mike Tyson like popping this dude's head off. Honestly, I hope it
For real.
happens. I hope that he shines, and I think that will be the only way that people will get their money's worth. Otherwise, it's going to be
Yeah, it's
a
gonna be
clown
like
show.
a big letdown, and it needs to. There, I agree. I think there has to be something that happens because if not, like it just keeps messing up the face of boxing and all of that. You
Well,
just
it's
don't
dumb.
take it seriously
What's
anymore.
dumb is that people keep paying for it, right? So it's just going to keep happening unless people stop paying for it, and it's fine. I guess
Yeah.
some people are entertained by that. Whatever. I mean, different folks take
Yeah.
different strokes.
It's almost
they
like
say.
it's almost like people keep going to go watch the Colorado Rockies or just want to experience the stadium, and that it's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, they're pretty laughable. I mean, no offense, but they're not great.
Or the Denver Broncos.
Hey,
Whoa. I
you
love
take
the
it easy on our
Broncos.
Denver Broncos.
Whoa,
I love the
care about
Broncos, but dude,
easy.
did you guys see that meme that them doing a garage sale? Did you see that? It's true, man. Like they totally just gutted the team.
They have to. It's
Well-
tired of sticking band-aids on things.
Did
And-
they
and if-
though? Did they have to get rid of Justin Simmons? I don't
Yes.
think so. Did they have?
Yes.
You do?
They had
Did they have to
one
get?
of the top. They were top in the NFL for oldest rosters. So it's like it's time to just gut it and start from scratch again.
And
All
if you're not, dude, we're not winning. So here's the deal. We're not winning. We're not going anywhere. Why not try something different? Why not go a different direction?
Yeah, but you're like dismantling the whole team, dude. Instead of figuring out what your major challenges are, you're literally just blowing the team up and you're starting from scratch.
But it's been acquired. Like the last couple of years have been an acquired issue of players that are not correct, and the contracts are not correct, and so on and so forth. It's causing more damage than good. So why not scrape it? Go for younger players on their rookie contracts. You're not putting out all that money in free agencies. You're not putting out all that money on these players that are not producing. You're not getting anywhere. And start from scratch. Start from fresh.
I get it. I get the benefit of having a young roster, young talent, right? That's how you build long legacy teams. I totally believe that. But as it stands, we're starting so deep in the hole, dude, with the salary cap that it's like it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me.
Well, it's a good thing the Waltons own the stuff. Or
Yeah.
is it the Walmart?
At least we
people?
have
Yeah.
some deep
Yeah,
pockets.
we got deep pockets, so that
But you
And
still
those-
have a salary cap. You still have a
those
salary
pockets
cap.
don't matter to the
There's
salary
ways
cap.
that they're working around it though too.
However, but now Carlos, look, we're not
sponsored
in
by
salary
Great
cap
Value.
hell. Now we're actually we're
We're
better
tru-
now.
yeah, the Broncos truly are a Walmart team this year.
Hey,
Yeah, we'll see.
The salary cap is all flush, dude. It's all just fluff, dude. Like those numbers are made up. You can
That's why they
you can have a player
restructuring.
like Simmons, and then you're back down $20 million underneath the salary cap. Like that is what it is. What we need is those rookie players, those young, good players on rookie contracts to start
New
building
culture.
something for a long haul.
But that takes
Whatever.
several years to build, though. Too. It doesn't happen the first.
Whatever.
2,
You
3, 4
guys are
seasons.
whack.
We're going down the poor Bronco fans wormhole.
Do you believe?
Yeah. All right. Hey, let's
I-
get to some music. What do you think? Or to movies? Excuse me. Let's get to some movies. We're ready.
Let's go.
All right. So we're going to transition a little bit here. I'm going to play some clips. Vince, thanks for putting this together. And for those of you who are 80s and maybe 90s, we think they're mostly 80s, but there could be some 90s
These are childhood
movies in here. Childhood stuff for sure.
Carlos, they did have these movies in Spanish, so you probably watched them in Spanish.
Dude, I'm telling you, I didn't speak
we?
English in 1985. I'm trying to tell you, man.
That's the problem with friends of longevity. Sometimes we don't know if we're joking or not. All right, so let's play. So I'm going to do my best. Like, just, tell me if you need me to stop, but I'm going to try to stop in between. How many of these are there, Vince? How many clips did you string together?
I think there's 4 or 5.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style? Besides, the stainless steel construction made the flux dispersal. Look out!
Oh man, this is good. I don't want to give away the Star Wars one just yet, but okay. Back to the Future. What is going on with that movie?
The DeLorean, bro. That was actually a real car maker. Isn't there like a movie about this DeLorean guy that made the DeLorean and it was like an off-brand vehicle? He did his own kind of thing and tried to get it patented or something like that. Something weird.
I don't know. I thought we were just gonna have fun with the memory of the movie. Now you got to go down like
but that is a big part of the movie because it's like, man, you make a time machine out of a DeLorean. But man, as you can see all these movies but I mean, these movies created a lot of just memories for me, childhood memories. And I'm not a huge fan of the sequels of this one.
They kept getting
Back to the
worse.
Future. Yeah, but the original one by far is the best to me.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was hilarious how Michael J. Fox's voice kept cracking.
Yeah. Was that like legitimately like him in that age of life? Or is that just like
that's just his voice,
acting voice, or his voice in general?
Yeah, that's just his voice.
I don't know.
His voice.
Yeah.
And who
he was past the age of accountability, right?
I know who wouldn't want that? Like that's what makes the movie so like enticing, because who wouldn't want to time travel,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the concept was definitely ahead of its time, right? With like time travel, with the acting. I mean, when you look at the fashion, Michael J. Fox puffy vest, that's like a classic these days, right? So it's still, people are still rocking the puffy vests, and so anyway, yeah, definitely way ahead of its time.
Well, let's not forget the floating skateboard and all that, and some of the sequels, things that shoes that self-tied a little bit later in the sequels, that later the Reebok pump came out. Remember that?
Yeah. So it's funny because the time that they travel to is like now, which is like we don't have flying cars.
Yeah, wasn't it like 2022? I think, wasn't it? Or something like
I think
that?
so. It's like now.
Here's the thing. I pulled up a website that has 27 Back to the Future gadgets. I don't want it to go on forever because this is just the first clip, but you had the phone glasses. I don't remember about the phone glasses. You guys remember the phone glasses? Was that in there?
Yep.
Okay. The thumbprint biometrics they had in there. Again, Marty McFly self-lacing Nikes and shoes, or his Nikes. Auto-adjusting dry clothes. His clothes just dried on their own. Video calls. Like there was a ton of there's a ton of things that were unheard of back then that we have now.
And now it's all on the palm of our hand here. Our phone.
Yeah. They say that I heard recently that our phones have more technology than when they put man on the moon. Had when we went to space. So I don't know. Let's watch this next one. Whoop, wrong one. Here we go.
Look out!
Oh, there we go.
He's cut! Russian's cut!
Let's watch this one too.
Dude, look how much bigger that guy is.
All right,
He
is this
was-
it? Oh, that's the.
He grabs Rocky.
Oh man, you did too good of a job on these, man. All the Star Wars. Who is a Star Wars fan besides my brother?
Man, I love Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I was so
awesome.
excited when Disney like created the Star Wars land
Yeah.
at Hollywood Studios. I don't know if you guys are big Disney fans or not. I don't know if have you been to
Some
Disney
classic,
World,
for
Joe?
sure. Yes. So the Disney World, I feel like I have. I'm pretty sure I have. And yeah, pretty sure I have.
Is that
But
Star Wars section? Is that the same at
Oh,
it
yeah,
like
yeah.
Studios? Isn't it like Hollywood Studios where they have that at, Vince?
yeah,
The Disney Hollywood Studios. So they have the same. Is it the same version that they have at Disneyland? They
don't
have like
know.
a spot that's called it's like a whole Star Wars dedicated to Star Wars. There is that the
Yeah,
same
I
like,
don't
type of thing?
I don't know. But yeah, they did a really good job with it. I don't are you guys did you guys watch any of the prequels which actually came out later? Were you into any of those?
Yeah, I actually really like the prequels, dude, with the Phantom Menace. But I'll tell you, part of the reason why I think I really enjoyed those movies was because I didn't see the original three that came out when we were kids until I was older. So I feel like if I would have had that context, I don't know that I would have enjoyed the prequels as much as I did. But I actually like the Phantom Menace. Hayden Christensen, even though he was a cheesy Darth Vader, I thought that the initial prequel trilogy was pretty awesome. And actually, we just watched the newer ones that came out, the latest ones that came out just this last week, and I actually think they're pretty dope.
Pretty
The
good.
the prequels you're talking about or the new
There you go.
The newer one.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's crazy,
that's what
right?
it looks like in Disneyland.
I don't know if I'm kind of covering us up here,
But they have a ride in Disneyland. That looks like the area where they have it dedicated to Star Wars and Disneyland, Vince. And
Yeah.
they have a ride called Rise of the Resistance, bro. Like,
Yep, that's same here.
dude, if you never, oh my goodness, bro, I can't even put words on this thing.
Crazy,
I don't.
right?
I haven't been there then because I don't.
They
I
did
don't
they did a
remember.
really good job of putting in the Star Wars. I mean, because they used to just have the Star Tours ride. And that was
Star
it.
Wars.
And then they're like, when they started doing the prequels and all the New Hope and everything on the Disney Channel and all, the ones that you're talking about, which I really do enjoy too. But yeah, they just did an awesome job. I mean, just a lot of creativity. But I like the clip that we just watched is from Return of the Jedi, which is probably my favorite of the New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. That's probably my favorite of them. That's one like the big shocker. Oh, Luke, I am your father.
Dude, my question is, so did George Lucas have this big plan when he originally produced the first three movies? And then, like, was it planned or was it, was it like a creative experiment as he went along? What do you guys think? Like, did
I think it was
he know
planned
that
from
he
what I
was going to do
remember.
that?
Yeah,
I
think it
Because,
was planned the
because the
whole time.
prequels weren't released for like a couple decades, right? After the original
Yeah.
ones were released.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good question because I'm sure there had to be in his mind like sooner or later I'm going to put out, but like the technology and everything that came with the prequels, like it made you appreciate them, even though like some of the stuff was cheesy, like you were saying, Hayden Christensen, some of his stuff was cheesy, even though like I mean I thought he did good as an Anakin, but it's just the technology side and the new just the new green screening of whatever's CGI and all that, it brought it to a whole other level.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no,
It
I
just got
agree.
better. Well, one of the things that we've done is we have some prequels to this podcast. So if you're still listening right now,
was
at
planned.
some point, it was planned.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear
Some
you're gonna hear
prequels.
the first what 3 episodes or 2? I think it's
2.
2. Yeah, 2 episodes. All right, let's check
talk
this
about
out
Rocky
right here.
for sure.
So
Wait, let's talk
we
about Rocky
skipped
real
over.
quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
If he
Look at this.
breaks, he breaks.
These guys were ripped, bro.
Oh no, he says
If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, that's when he was talking
Do
about
you have to get close to the
Apollo
mic
Creed.
to do that?
Talk about the
That's how he
guy who
dies.
has like sequel after sequel, bro. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Rambo. What is the other one that he has? It's like this guy puts out sequels like nobody's
I
business.
mean, and then he just did the whole Creeds, you know?
yeah, I think that's still part of the Rocky thing, though.
Well, I heard
Dude,
the
his
other
new
side
one.
of that is everything's really about Apollo Creed. It's not really about Rocky. Because
Yeah.
it started with Apollo Creed and it was about Apollo Creed. It was about his vengeance. It was about his son. It was about like, so you can make the case that the whole Rocky series wasn't really about Rocky. It was about Apollo Creed the whole time.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great point. I never
You know,
looked at it that way.
You know that actually they did not invite him to be on the latest Creed. And so
I heard
the-
about that. Yeah.
the pre-screening and everything, he didn't even show up because he was so like he was pretty hurt about it, which is understandable because
Heck
he's
yeah.
Sylvester
pretty much
Stallone was not
created.
invited.
Huh?
Sylvester Stallone was not invited.
Oh, he wasn't
No.
invited to be a
Aw,
part of the
dude.
movie.
They messed
I-
up. What the
Yeah.
I
heck?
feel like I saw an interview of them talking about this with him, and I got the impression from his comments that he was sort of disappointed about how long this story has gone. You know, like I got the sense that he would have wanted to put a cap on it and keep the legacy a keepsake as opposed to continuing to build on it, you know, just for the sake of capitalism. But I don't know how sincere that is, or if it's just, you know, pandering to, you know, clickbait and whatnot. So I think that that's, you know, interesting. I'm a big fan of good storytelling, but I sort of feel like it's kind of like a good conversation going on for too long, right? After a while, it loses its appeal.
Yeah.
So-
it needs to end.
Kind of like
There
talking
needs
to
to be a
you sometimes.
Kind of like, let's go on. All right, let's get it right.
Okay, can you go on? Get him a body bag! Yeah! Alright. Warning for illegal contact to the knee.
Johnny!
Yeah.
No mercy! No mercy! Finish Johnny! Finish him!
Oh, come on. That was so good. Oh my God. Dude, like all I could think about now is like wanting to watch Cobra Kai all over again.
Yeah, man.
I mean, oh, dude, what a classic. That was I must have watched now here's a series where I liked all of them except for when it went to a girl. And no offense to, you know, the Karate Kid chick or whatever, but it just like, you know, it changed, it just changed it, right? It just changed it. Like was it Hillary, what was her name?
Hillary Swank.
Swank.
Hillary Swank.
Hillary
Yeah, no,
Swank,
she
yeah.
was great. Like she did great. It was just another movie though. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, but I was a fan of all of them, man. I watched them as a kid.
Yeah,
I
I
remember,
definitely
like, I don't
had
know
the
how many
Daniel
times.
LaRusso hair when I was a kid.
What do you
I
have
was
now?
rocking that hairdo.
What you have now?
Let's see the hair, bro. Let's see the hair.
Like
Um,
Let's see it.
I love
Let's
Dude,
see
those
the
were,
hair.
but honestly though, those
Wow,
were
put him on the spot.
such. How were you guys like all like? I watched them like I don't know how many times, and then when Cobra Kai came out, now this isn't a little known fact, but I watched a lot of Cobra Kai way before Netflix and before it took off because it was on YouTube Red. I don't know
So
if you
did I.
guys knew this or not, but YouTube
I did.
Red
Yep.
released it way before Netflix bought it. Netflix made it like what it was, they turned it into a mega blockbuster series. But on YouTube Red, man, I was a fan from like the first day, like from the first few minutes. I was like, oh my God, like talk about getting it right. And
Yep.
the contrast between Johnny, like how he still has this Gen X mentality, the new generation of kids, how they think, the offensive things he would say. I mean, it was just, they got it right.
They did it right.
They got it so right. And talk about, there will never be a series where you can get literally everybody who was anything on every one of those parts of the original Karate Kid and make some kind of a cameo. It's wild how they did that. It's that they're all alive still, and they were all willing to do it, and they all played like a legitimate acting role. Like I can't say enough about Cobra Kai. The last one comes out in September or something like that, or did it? It's getting ready to come out. But look it up.
Bro, I love your passion about Cobra Kai. I haven't watched one episode of that.
Are you serious?
Oh my God. What is wrong with you in life?
Dude, I haven't seen one either.
With me.
What?
I haven't seen it either.
Did you like
There's a
Karate Kid?
50% split right now of who's. Oh my
Did
God.
you watch Karate Kid?
Dude, I'm ending the stream now.
Dude, I watched Karate Kid, but the best part, the thing, of course, the thing I liked about Karate Kid was Mr. Miyagi's backyard, bro. Like I want my life to be like
Dude,
that.
go back in time and watch this freaking thing then if you want to see his backyard again. Dude, they got everybody, every
backyard on the Cobra Kai thing. Like,
yes.
Is it like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll have to check it out, dude. Like, I promise I haven't watched one episode of that.
Dude, it is so good.
Did you guys ever see that?
Seriously, come over to my house and let's binge watch one of the series. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding.
No,
dude,
I'm
it's
down.
So freaking good. Oh my!
He'll come if you have some Cubanos, some Cuban cigars at your house. He'll come. I might come too.
Dude, that would be so fun. And then we'll just stream Vince in from Florida.
Let's do it.
We'll do a watch
party.
Dude,
did you guys see that spoof that John Cena did on, I think it was SNL, when he's the Cobra Kai guy and they're all getting ready to fight and somebody else playing Daniel LaRusso, and he does his whole crane setup, and then he rushes John Cena and he punches him and he goes through like 4 walls.
I thought you were going to talk about when he was naked on the Emmys or the Oscars. Okay.
No, I don't watch that stuff.
Neither do I.
But
it made the news, and it was so stupid. Anyway,
yeah, dude, that spoof on SNL with John Cena is hilarious with the Karate Kid because he punches him through like 4 different walls, which is pretty realistic, right? Like if you're in a karate tournament, you have a busted leg, like. I don't know if you could go on, but that's the magic of Hollywood, man. I love it. Gotta love it. Didn't you do karate, Joe, when you were a kid, or no? Or am I dreaming that?
Oh yeah, I did Taekwondo and Judo in elementary school. Both of those types
of
YMCA of karate. No, it was
CCYA.
No, there was CCYA. I think it was just at elementary school, or something like that.
No, dude, there was a studio by Yellowfront.
Was that what it was?
Oh, Yellowfront, dude.
Yellowfront. Yeah. Come on.
Dude, I got arrested at Yellowfront.
Were they like you have to bring your own shank?
No,
they had stuff on the wall in there, dude. Like I remember I did karate there as well. It was at the studio, like right in front of Yellowfront, like next to where Rena Center was. It was like the studio right next to it.
Dude, it became like a panaderia later.
I think I watched Karate Kid the day before I punched you in the nose.
All right.
He's all.
Anyway. No, that maybe you did. I don't know. But all I remember is that we were practicing like flipping somebody over, and the coach said, all right, when I flip you over, make sure you tuck your neck like that, and you'll just hit the back, part of your back. And I had my head like this, and boom, like I had a headache for like a week, bro, and I don't
Dude, you
think I
probably
ever
got
went back.
concussed, bro. You
I
probably got
did.
traumatic brain injury, dude.
Dude, I was like seeing stars for like I don't know how many minutes. Like the whole practice was over after that. Like it was one of those movie scenes where everybody was around me, and I was just like seeing, it was crazy. And he just finished telling me what to do. And I'm just
You
like,
just throw it
"Hey,
around.
yeah, flip me over,
It's
flip
like
me over."
potatoes.
Boom. Yeah. It was bad. And I think that was when, because when
That's
I was a
awesome.
kid, before like I think 5th grade was when I started getting heavier. I was like a stick, bro. I was like super skinny before like 4th grade or something like that. And so he just literally threw me over. Boom, like, yeah. So anyway, that was my story.
It's not funny that you got hurt, but it's kind of funny.
It's funny, dude. I get jacked up, and I don't think I ever went back. So that's my story. I think my career was over for sure.
Dude, it's probably a good thing you didn't go back, dude. You probably would have been like eating through a straw today.
The teacher's like, hey, here's your belt, kid. Here, just take your belt. Just
All
go.
right, I got to let this play through a little bit because when the browser, I'll edit this out, but I got the browser like closed up, so I got to wait for it. Oh, let's let me move it. Never mind. One more time.
That's not a great idea, you guys!
The Goonies!
Slick shoes, are you crazy? Stay up!
Good enough. I can see the flashlight. Hey, fellas, remember me? It takes my time. We just want to get out of here. Oh, I'm gonna shout! No!
Holy Mackenzie!
You're gonna start a taking
Hey, man, what the hell do you think that was? Oh my God! I'm telling you that it's getting loud! How'd you match? No.
Let it on the lamp.
Dynamite for real?
Wait a minute. Just pause. Don't push, Jake. I'm not. Hurry up.
Oh,
Dude, that was so good. Is that the last one, Vince?
Yeah, that's the last one.
Let me
had
let
to
it
get the final crotch shot in.
Dude, that's another movie. Oh my God, that I watched I don't know how many times. And I even made Jose watch it when not too long ago, because that was so good. Talk about like a group of friends that like just would do anything, right, for their neighborhood, for their family, for each other. I mean, because you got that, like you got adventure, you got like mystery, you got the creepy guy in the basement, and then you've got the friends that'll just do whatever for one another and go on this crazy adventure in the back of a U-Haul and beat each other up, right? Like it was so no, but honestly, right? How many times did you guys watch that movie? And Carlos, please tell me you watched that movie.
dude, I am not lying to you. I have never watched that movie one time.
Dude, get him off the cast.
Podcast.
Just take him off the cast.
No, I think mostly
You're fired.
because when the movie came out, we've talked about this before. When the movie came out, like I wasn't in that culture, like I wasn't exposed to Goonies. I wasn't exposed to, I mean, obviously Rocky was a worldwide phenomenon, so I was exposed to that. But, stuff like Goonies, there was a lot of stuff in the early 80s that I just had no clue about, just because truly I didn't speak English. My family wasn't, into pop culture. So I did have a bit of a sheltered life when I was a kid because of that.
Well, there's another movie we got to watch together.
And talk about preserving the legacy or preserving that thing too, Joe. Like Goonies is a movie that they never came out with a sequel to. And
Yes.
like everyone would die to see the sequel to Goonies, dude. Like, but
So-
it would just at this point, it would just totally ruin it if it wasn't just as amazing as the first one, right?
Right. Unless they did something like they did with Cobra Kai, where they had some of the original cast members, which Corey Haim's not alive anymore, so that's not going to happen. But unless they did something like that, where you had the original cast members, it's fast forward into their future. Maybe it's their kid's story, right? And then it's just as wild and adventurous, you know, only in a modern world. That might be a good story, right?
So you think about all the shows that are created today kind of emulate what was made back in that time. Like the Goonies, like I kind of think about like what Stranger Things is now, you know. Kind of has it's more a little more sci-fi,
Yeah,
but
I would
it's
agree with that.
kind of the same kind of concept.
Yeah.
You know, and this whole spin-off of Karate Kid with Cobra Kai, that was, I mean, as we talked, it was just genius.
Well, you
But
and I
even-
could talk about it, Vince.
Yeah.
But you know, you kind of have to do that stuff right, because if you don't, then you end up really just screwing the legacy of that
Coming
story.
from somebody who didn't watch something that was done right. We agree.
Hey, you're on vacation, just pop it on your phone and watch some Goonies.
Netflix and chill, bro, with your wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Goonies is
yeah.
dope, though.
I'd rather watch the sunset on the beach, fellas.
Oh, my fault.
I'm not gonna. I agree. Yeah, I agree. You got to do
I
that.
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys, before
that
we're not gonna
Speedo
record
and
another one
get on the
unless you
beach.
watch at least one episode, because you gotta watch at least episode 1. Do you guys agree? And then at
Of
least
what?
bring back some
Cobra Kai?
information of Cobra Kai. It's 30 minutes of your life.
Okay.
Oh, you'll be hooked.
And
You'll be
you'll
hooked.
probably want to watch the whole thing. You will, but at least watch one. By the next pod, we're gonna catch everybody up on what you think, since we couldn't do it on this one.
All right.
But
It's
yeah,
I'll do it.
guys,
I'm
It's so wild that you didn't watch it.
but yeah, I just wanted to talk about the movies because I mean, I know Carlos as much as you say, but you have had a chance to, like, in recent years, to go watch some of the movies, and it kind of makes you appreciate that time and that culture, right?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I definitely consider myself an 80s kid, probably more so 90s kid, even though I'm truly legitimately an 80s kid. But because, you know, I really didn't start getting into pop culture until later in the 80s, early 90s. But definitely still appreciate that era for what it was. It is a classic. And, you know, it's evident because Hollywood keeps refurbishing or reimagining those storylines, right? So that tells you that it was a great story to begin with, to your point. So yeah, no, absolutely. I have great appreciation for that time.
But I think even like I don't know if you guys could relate with this, like, but when you're a kid, you would watch a movie and the first thing you want to do is go outside or go somewhere and reenact what you just seen on TV.
Totally.
Like you guys remember Stand By Me, the movie?
Dude, I was thinking about that during Goonies. I was like,
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I almost forgot, because I was like, Stand By Me would have been another one.
Do you guys
that's
remember
freaking
when we were like,
amazing.
when we were like actually gonna plot because there was a rumor that there was a dead body down at the Platte River, and we were like planning, oh, let's all tell each other's parents we're gonna like stay the night over each other,
I
and we're gonna
remember
go.
that. I
We're
do.
gonna
Dude,
go
we
like
totally
camp.
we're gonna reenact the movie.
We were gonna go camp down at the Platte River.
Yep.
And reenact like kind of a Stand By Me, but it's just those things that that pull your imagination. It kind of makes you appreciate those movies and that part of your life, you know.
Dude, it was
I got the one that I got
good.
one that set the world on fire, dude, and it kind of like was one of those exact things when it came out. After it came out, the world went crazy. Was Breaking, dude.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
wildfire
that was-
after that movie.
I mean, you looked for the first cardboard box that was
Try to find
available.
a cardboard box anywhere that you could
There you
to
go.
break down
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
or
There was
or
these
Juice. Juice, that was that was in the 90s, but Juice, everybody wanted to be a DJ after that.
Yep.
Yeah, it was so
Run
good.
cartels.
Yep. Hey, it's been a good episode, fellas. What do you think?
Word up.
We got into some
Word.
things that we didn't expect to. That's what happens when you get with your homies and start chopping it up. So we're gonna have to add to our title of this episode. We got to add our part of our music story is in this one, and then the Denver Broncos, little tidbits of the Denver Broncos. But appreciate everybody listening in.
Hey,
Until
Carlos,
the next one.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. We appreciate
Carlos,
y'all. We
go get
appreciate
some
you.
sun on that BBL.
It's healing nicely. I'll let you guys know. It's
Yeah.
healing nicely.